Hi, how you doing, everybody? This is Mr. Russo, solving two-step equations with fractions, section 3.1, and this should be the first video of 3 videos. All right, we're just going to review real quick how to solve a two-step equation. Go on the side of the x, get rid of the term that we are adding or subtracting to the x first. Then we get rid of the number that our variable is being multiplied by. So it's always the adding or subtracting step first, then the division step. Opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. Subtract, bring down the 3x. Use our integer rules. Opposite of multiplication is division, divide, and we happen to get a nice, easy integer. All right, so that's just a two-step equation. Now let's throw some variables in. (18x minus a half equals negative 19 over 2. So you need to know how to add and subtract fractions. First, again, go on the side where my x is, get rid of the term that does not have an x. Opposite, this is going to be our adding and subtracting step. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. So we're going to add a half. That's gone. We bring down 18x, and now negative 19 over 2 and positive 1 over 2, they have a common denominator. So because they have a common denominator, we can go right to just saying, what's negative 19 plus 1? Negative 19 plus 1, integer rules, you get negative 18, and then you just put that number over the common denominator. Denominator does not go away. And then from here, you have a couple different options. You can just notice that negative 18 over 2 is negative 9. And then we have 18x equals negative 9. From here, you go on the side of the x. If there's multiplication, you do the opposite, which is division. You divide, and you get negative 9 over 18, but that can be reduced. They're both divisible by 9. So divide by 9, divide by 9. The answer is still negative, and we get negative a half. Okay, let's do number 3. Okay, not a lot of fractions here. We just got that 1/2. But this can be written 2 different ways. I can write this problem this way, or whenever the x or the variable is given in the middle of the term, where if I have a half x, the x is in the middle, it's not in the top, it's not in the bottom. But really what that means is that that variable, if I wanted to rewrite this, it can be rewritten in the numerator. So I can write this as 1 times x over that denominator, and then 1 times anything is just itself, so that can be x over 2. So if I wanted to rewrite this problem, I can write this problem as x over 2. So that's first just about how to rewrite a term to make the equation look a little bit different, so this way you can solve it a little bit differently, but we're gonna just use it as a half x for now. We're going to go back to how to solve it if it was just x over 2. There might be a different approach throughout the problem. All right, so here's my original. I go on the left-hand side, get rid of the positive 2 first. I do my addition or subtraction step. I got to use the opposite or inverse operation. I bring down the half x equals negative 1, negative 2 is negative 3. Integer rules, and I get to this point. And again, I can do it a couple different ways. I can say I'm going to divide both sides by a half, or I can just go right to the pickup method. I pick it up, bring it over, and the reason why I can do the pickup method is because I have to acknowledge that there's multiplication here, and the opposite is division. So when I do my division step, I can either do pickup or show that I'm dividing both sides by that number. And I usually only do the pickup method when I have fractions. So when I do the pickup method, I got to pick it up and flip it. So I get x equals negative 3 times, flip it, when I flip the fraction, I happen to get a nice, neat integer. It's not going to happen all the time. But since it happens this way, that's great. And we get -6, and we're done. So the answer is -6. Okay, this is 1 of 3. Now go to video number 2 for November 26th. And I'm going to give you 2 more examples, and then the third video is homework.